And welcome to my YouTube channel at Alexandru. On this channel you will find clips from the following fields: cryptocurrencies, quality news, business and economy, money working, short video, funny moments, clips from different fields, relaxing moments, culinary recipes, places to visit. Stay like this but stay with me in this video clip and you will definitely appreciate what you will see at Alexandru. Wishes you a pleasant viewing. In the clip that you are about to see visibly on my YouTube channel, I will tell you, explain, show about I want to get off the plane. The passengers refusing to fly on Boeing 737 MAX. Stay like this but with me in this video clip and you will understand its potential. Ed Pearson was flying from Seattle to New Jersey in 2023 when he ended up boarding a plane he'd never wanted to fly on. The Seattle resident booked with Alaska Airlines last March, purposefully selecting a flight with a plane he was happy to board, essentially anything but a Boeing 737 MAX. I got to the airport, checked again that it wasn't the MAX. I went through security, got coffee. I walked onto the plane. I thought, it's kinda new, Pearson told CNN. Then I sat down and on the emergency card, in the seat pocket, it said it was a MAX. He got up and walked off. A flight attendant was closing the front door. I said, I wasn't supposed to fly the MAX. She was like, what do you know about the MAX? He said. I said, I can't go into detail right now, but I wasn't planning on flying the MAX, and I want to get off the plane. Pearson made it to New Jersey. After some back and forth, he said, Alaska's airport staff rebooked him onto a red-eye that evening on a different plane. Spending the whole day in the airport was worth it to avoid flying on the MAX, he said. Pearson has a unique and first-hand perspective of the aircraft, made by Boeing at its Renton factory in the state of Washington. Now the executive director of airline watchdog group Foundation for Aviation Safety. He served as a squadron commanding officer among other leadership roles during a 30-year naval career, followed by 10 years at Boeing, including 3 as a senior manager in production support at Renton itself, working on the 737 MAX project before its launch. But he's one of a number of travelers who do not want to board the aircraft, which has been at the heart of 2 fatal crashes, as well as the January 5 incident, in which part of the fuselage of an Alaska Airlines plane blew out mid-air. The part, a door plug, was found to be missing 4 bolts that should have held it in place. Further reports of many loose bolts and misdrilled holes have emerged from the subsequent investigations into the MAX 9 model after the Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, ordered the grounding of 171 MAX 9 aircraft with the same door plug. Experts agree that the Alaska incident could have been worse, and the chair of the National Transportation Safety Board, NTSB, has warned that something like this can happen again. The previous model, the MAX 8, was involved in 2 fatal crashes in 2018 and 2019 that killed a total of 346 people. The crashes were widely attributed to the malfunctioning of MACAS, an automated system in the MAX designed to stabilize the pitch of the plane, overriding pilot input in some circumstances. Boeing accepted its liability in 2021 for one of the crashes. Weeks after the Alaska incident, Boeing CEO David Calhoun told investors on a quarterly call, we will cooperate fully and transparently with the FAA at every turn. This increased scrutiny, whether it comes from us, or a regulator or from third parties, will make us better. We caused the problem, and we understand that, Calhoun said. Whatever conclusions are reached, Boeing is accountable for what happened. Whatever the specific cause of the accident might turn out to be, an event like this simply must not happen on an airplane that leaves one of our factories. We simply must be better. In February, in the wake of the Alaska incident, the company removed the head of the MAX program from his position and reshuffled other senior management figures. The move comes as critics have repeatedly said that the aircraft manufacturer is prioritizing profits over safety. The FAA is now taking a holistic look at the quality control issues at Boeing to ensure safety is always the company's top priority, a spokesperson for the government agency told CNN. Representatives are on the ground assessing the production lines at Boeing's Renton factory and Spirit Aerosystems, whose Wichita, Kansas factory made the door plug that blew off mid-flight in the Alaska incident. On February 28, the FAA gave Boeing 90 days to come up with a plan to address quality and safety issues. Boeing told CNN, every day, more than 80 airlines operate about 5,000 flights with a global fleet of 737 MAX airplanes, carrying 700,000 passengers to their destinations safely. The 737 MAX family's in-service reliability is above 99% and consistent with other commercial airplane models. Of course, many thousands of people board MAX aircraft with no concerns, but do other passengers care? It appears that enough do. Mixed impressions. The last time the MAX was grounded, for 20 months, Following the crash of Ethiopian Airlines Flight 302 on a MAX 8 in March 2019, 25% of the 1,005 Americans questioned in a Reuters Ipsos poll said that they had not a lot or no confidence in the aircraft, compared to 31% who did and 44% who were unsure. The poll was taken in December 2020, shortly before the aircraft's return to the skies. After being told about the aircraft's safety issues, a further 57% said they would be somewhat unlikely or not likely to fly in a MAX, according to the report. Nearly half, 45%, said that they would still be somewhat unlikely or not very likely to fly in it after it had been back in the air for 6 months, and 31% of all respondents said that they had little to no confidence that the Federation Aviation Administration, FAA, puts passenger and crew safety first when determining whether an aircraft is fit to fly. Most countries cleared the MAX 8 to fly again by 2021, but 3 years on, there still appears to be negative public opinion about the MAX. It's unsettling that there have been so many issues with this specific type of plane, Stephanie King, a passenger on the affected Alaska Airlines flight, told CNN in January. I hope something is done so that this doesn't happen again. Then there's flight booking site Kayak, which has seen usage of its filter to deselect MAX aircraft, models 8 and 9, during the booking process increase 15-fold since January, the company told CNN. The site introduced the filter in March 2019, after the Ethiopian Airlines crash. Doubts have also remained across the industry as a whole. Following the Alaska incident, a February P-NORC poll regarding air travel safety found nearly a third of Americans surveyed answered, not at all, or a little, when asked if they believe that airplanes are safe from structural faults. While planes were generally viewed to be as safe as cars or trains for means of transportation, fewer than 2 in 10 surveyed strongly agreed that planes are fault-free. If it's Boeing, I ain't going. Bell Anastasio has boycotted the MAX since the January incident. Shortly after the Alaska Airlines fuselage blowout, she was scheduled on a MAX for a work flight. My boyfriend didn't want me to fly on it, so I changed my travel plans to make sure I wasn't flying on any type of MAX, she said. It doesn't matter which model, I don't want to fly them. To her, she said, the Alaska incident was further confirmation that Boeing is still not being thorough and not fixing its issues. Florida-based Astasio, who works in marketing, now checks the aircraft type before booking any flight. She's made 2 trips since January. The whole thing of, if it's not Boeing I ain't going, it's totally the opposite now, she said. I'm very happy when I've seen I'll be flying an Airbus. She says she's not the only one in her circle, and says she knows people employing both soft and hard boycotts. Some say, absolutely not. Others say, if I can change it, I will. If not, I'll just go on it. Not an aircraft I'd want to fly. UK-based communications consultant Elaine Grimes is another, with a personal boycott. Grimes, who travels regularly for work, was worried following the MAX 8's first crash in October 2018, Lion Air Flight 610, in Indonesia, which killed all 189 on board a plane in service for less than 3 months. Grimes, who'd previously worked in emergency crisis management, was immediately concerned about Boeing's new aircraft, which had launched to great fanfare in 2017. I actively sought out airlines that didn't have the MAX, she said. When Ethiopian Airlines Flight 302 crashed in March 2019, killing another 157 people, it confirmed her resolve. In 2022, Grimes watched Downfall, The Case Against Boeing, a Netflix documentary directed by Rory Kennedy, which looked at the 2 tragedies and flagged concerns about the working environment at Boeing. I watched that and thought, Boeing was an organization putting profit before people, and thought, that's not for me. I don't see myself flying one in the near future, she said. While the FAA has cleared the MAX to fly once more, Grimes believes that its issues are not resolved. When the door came off, and they called the planes in and found other aircraft with issues, I thought, she said, it's just not an aircraft I'd want to fly. Grimes is a self-declared avgeek, or aviation fanatic, and she's not the only one monitoring the industry closely to have reservations. Elliot Sherrod, who says he took 78 flights last year, is on the fence. I wouldn't exactly refuse to fly it, but I'd ideally fly an Airbus if given the choice, he said. A former aviation journalist, who wished to remain anonymous for professional reasons, says they lost trust after the second crash. After the first one, the predominant talking points were, oh, it's got to be pilot error, or the weather. Alexandru, thanks for viewing. If you liked the video, don't forget